What's going on, everybody? My name is Sean. Uh, Today I'd like to show you a very easy money-making guide that literally anybody can do in RuneScape. This requires absolutely no uh, prior skills, there's no like skill requirements. All it requires is having a little bit of cash. Now this can essentially be done with any amount of cash. Of course, having enough to probably around 12 to 13 mil can make it efficient and all in one go. But even 1-2 mil can make you some money pretty damn quick. So here we go. So what I'm going to be doing is decanting prayer potions. So first I start off by buying prayer potion 3s. Now these are, let's go, this much I could go for, and you can buy about 2,000 at once. I believe is the GE limit. So 2,000 every 4 hours. So that costs about 15 mil. Now the thing is, when you're making Herbalore potions, you make them in 3-dose potions. However, they're most efficient used in 4-dose potions. Now what not a lot of people know is that this guy right here, the decant option, turns those 3-dose potions into 4-dose potions. Now, as I wait for the prayer potions to buy, um, we can just wait around, do whatever. There's, lots of skilling methods you can do, like you can do some alching, you can do many other things to make money in the meantime. This is just one thing that you can do with, no skills. Obviously, you just sit and, let the orders fill out. So, yeah, let's just sit here and let this GE order fill out. And we're going to do this live because it's good to show the actual amount of time it takes. Like, this is a very quick method. It's super, super simple. Just about anybody can do this. Again, like I said, all it requires is a little bit of starting cash. And just about any player at this point should be able to make that starting little bit of cash. It's not too hard at this point. A little bit of quick flipping and stuff like that will get you there. Now this is, a much, much bigger flip where you're not making just, 50, 60K a flip. This can make you easily. Dual mock are on the rise. That is a good question. Are they? Did I sell mine? Let's see what these are worth. 7.3. You know what? That's really gonna hurt considering I had sold some off. No, they're not in here, but I had sold a pair of dual mocks off for about 5.1 mil, probably about a week and a bit ago. So thank you, Ian, for pointing that out. That's actually really interesting there. Now the chat also is not showing here as I'd like it to, at least. Let's see if I can fix that. All right. All right. Now we have Ian's comment there. I'm gonna just make this a little bit smaller for everybody here. So we're not taking up the whole screen. Now we're almost at 1,300 bought. Currently we're at 1,298. In the meantime, I can demonstrate how this is done. Actually, yeah. So let's remember 9.754 mil. all you do is decant, press 4 dose potions. Now you'll end up with, you know, a little bit extra if you're not doing it with an evenly divisible by 4 number. So that's why I ended up with Prayer Potion 2 and 973 Prayer Potion 4s. So these, let's say 10, 400. Now, I believe it was 9.754, and I'm going to make 200k off this one. Now, I'm having to buy them at a little bit higher than the average market price right now, just because it's a little bit more competitive to be buying them. But at any given point, this can make you hundreds, if not, you know, or hundreds of K, if not even, you know, a mil or more sometimes. Even putting these orders in overnight with the GE orders would really speed things up as well. But yeah, I thought I'd just share another nice quick money making tip on OSRS. Another great tip actually would be making tree seedlings. So I noticed that palm and yew seedlings, typically you can get the seeds pretty cheap. Now you can only buy 200 of them at once, but they're very profitable. The seedling itself is generally worth a lot more than you know, just the seed by itself. So you know, hopefully we'll be able to show you that soon. This order's almost done. All right. All right, sorry, just getting a drink of water there. But so as we can see, the buy limit on these 200, actively traded price 24,077 coins. And we go to a UC Ling or sapling, sorry. Actively traded price is 25,980. Now we're looking at a approximately 1,950 coin difference. Now multiply that by the 200 seeds that you can do. That's 390k right there instantly. Now you do lose some to GE taxes, of course. The taxman has to get his own, but you should be able to make a hefty profit off of that, even with the 2% tax that we're now getting. All right, so we're going to check that again. Looks like that's trying to, you know, stop buying there, but might have to raise that a little bit. Okay, now let's go. There we go. Very quick, very quick. Okay, we are almost done this. Only 145 more to go. Let's go. While we're at it, since we're having to spend a little bit more on our Prayer Potion 3s, we might as well add a little bit of coins to our Prayer Potion 4s. Then maybe after this, we can do a little bit of questing or something. Or if we'd like to see more money-making methods, I'd be happy to show everybody. And there we go, the last 145 we need. So again, we go to Bob Barter, decant, this option right here. You right click, left click, boom, 4 doses. They're all done very quick. We have the remaining 527 we need. Add this there. You will have 1,500 prayer potions for total, adding to a total of 15,318,000 coins. Now, we spent a total of so we spent a total of 50,034,250 coins on these prayer potions, meaning we're going to make about 300k on this trade. Now, again, this varies widely depending on your initial purchase price for the prayer potions. However, this can be done with stuff like super restores, super anti-fires, uh, some other commonly used potions here. Let's look. Yeah, there's so many very commonly used potions that are made via herblore that this could be done with. So, try everything out. There's great sites to be using to check the prices of potions. One site I use is prices.runescape.wiki. In that, you can see the actively bought for prices for both you know, the Prayer Potion 3 and the Prayer Potion 4. You can see just about everything. Anytime something sells, it updates fairly quickly within about a minute or so. So I strongly recommend that site. But yeah, alright, so let's add these vials to my ever-increasing pile of vials, my vial pile. So, as you can see, I've been doing this quite a bit. That's kind of how I've made my cash stack, plus supported myself in skills like construction, herblore, and other very expensive money-wasting skills such as farming. But yeah, so I figured that was just a nice quick little stream to show you guys what can be done, what can be made. Um, I'd really like these to sell just so that we can show you, you know, that this is, a proper money-making method that, is viable, is going to work. Um, we can even just look at this graph here. I know I sound like Chad Kroger from Nickelback, but so you can see, you know, the Prayer Potion 4 is commonly selling for 10,420 and more, especially in the past couple hours here. So having these historic graphs on this site here is absolutely key. I, again, cannot recommend it enough. So yeah, while that's happening, why don't we do a little bit of, let's do some cooking. Let's try to get a gigantic XP drop with some wine here. Just get everything set up. Now, for you, those of you who don't know, cooking wine is probably one of the best ways to get to 99 cooking. I know it's a pretty common method, is probably the best known method if uh, for getting pretty much any skill to 99, but everyone's got to learn it somewhere. So here's how it works. So you put the grapes into the jugs. There's this little timer up here that ticks down. So it's 20 ticks, about 12 seconds, 12 to 13 seconds. And as long as you're constantly making a new wine, it'll reset. So every time you can see up here, it resets. Every time the grapes are put into the jug of water. Now, another thing is when you're making the wines, you can make some bad wine, basically some poorly fermented wine. Now that stops happening, I believe, after 65 cooking, 63 cooking. Someone's probably going to correct me on one of those things, but it is, again, very reliable as you get approximately 2,800 experience per inventory of wine. This has gotten some people some pretty massive XP drops. I do remember seeing a guy doing this in Deadman mode, or Leagues, I believe. One of those. And he ended up getting a 199 million XP drop. Absolutely bonkers. I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon, but nice big 50k XP drop won't hurt to see on stream, eh? Honestly, it's kind of comical. It looks like you're playing on a RuneScape private server almost when you're doing stuff like that. All right. Also, you don't want to get caught lacking here because it's pretty embarrassing when you're constantly saying, "Hey, I'm going for this big XP drop," and it all just goes to shit. Let's make sure that we see the XP drop when it comes up here. That'll be nice and fun. All right. You know, as I learn about this whole streaming thing, I'm gonna probably learn how to edit the videos afterwards too. I'm probably gonna cut this whole part out of the VOD, but you know, if you're still seeing this, if you're still hearing this, whatever, then I did not successfully do that. All right. You know, I kind of wish I was watching how many, you know, 168 unfermented wines so far. How is our grain exchange offers doing? They are currently sitting unsold. All right. Is it time for possibly a price adjust? Who knows? But I don't want to get caught lacking here. Gotta make sure we do the wine. And there we go. I currently have one viewer. How is my one viewer doing? Hey, hey. Ah, uh-oh. Got caught lacking. There we go. There we go. Keep it rolling. Now let's figure out what's up with the prayer potions. Yeah, they're still a little bit low right now, but we're definitely going to see those sell eventually. Okay, we're going to keep going with the wines. Let's see if I can finish this whole stack of 600 and something that I have left. Can't wait for that big old XP drop. Always very entertaining. Okay, yeah, let's keep going. Put the grapes in the jug, put the jug in the bank, put the XP on my account. He really thinks he's being smooth here. All right. One more viewer. How you doing out there? I'm wonderful. Wonderful myself. Crazy guy talking to himself. You know, I really heard, I decided to live stream this because I said 500k in minutes, and a number of minutes later, it is not happening. Part of this, I think, has to do with the fact that I'm trying to do this at 11:25 at night. But also, if I just drop the price a little bit, I probably could sell them instantly. Alright, let's just wait for the wine. We'll wait for that big XP drop. It's probably going to be somewhere around 70,000. Hey, 72,000 experience. Whole other cooking level. Oh, that's always good. That's always fun to see. Okay, let's modify this offer. Gonna show you 10,400 works. Gonna make about 250k off that. Again, that's about half the 500k that I said, but hopefully it will take a lot less than a few minutes. There we go. Starting to move now. Sold 303. Okay. And now we wait. You know, the great thing about this thing is that it's 100% repeatable. It will always, like prayer potions will never, ever, ever go out of style. They are a 100% like, meta item in this game right now, unless there's something else that can do everything a prayer potion can, such as a super restore, but be as cheap. No, it's not that much cheaper, I guess, but okay, we stay in our prayer potions, alright? Alright, we're selling some more right now. Perfect. Look at me. No fire cape like that guy. You wanna know why? I know what grass feels like. No, I'm just kidding. I actually fucking suck. It's a skill issue. Oh, look at that. Free super defense. Don't mind if I do. And that's how you make 3k in just a few seconds. Why that guy dropped that? Beyond me. Ant scrambling for 3k. Free money is free money, buddy. You know, people who say stuff like that are always mad that they didn't get it. That will be my headcanon forever. And if you try to get mad at me, then you're probably mad about the fact that you didn't get that free 3k. That sweet, sweet 3k. You know, it's slowly working. We'll be there. We will be there very soon. Hundreds of thousands of coins will soon be mine. But the fact of this is, it is such a simple money making method. Again, anybody can do it, just requires access to the GE. So that limits Ironman. But if you're an Ironman, you're probably not watching videos on how to make money sitting at GE. Still waiting. And that's fine. Um, let's look at some of my other favorite items to flip on the GE as well. Um, Let's see here. Steel bars. Always good, always useful. They are a funny 545 coins to buy right now. These always fluctuate an absolute insane amount. I cannot understand what does it. Let's do 10k for now. I believe that is buy limit anyway. I didn't check. I was kind of clicking too fast, but that's fine. Now, when it comes to figuring out how much money we need to sell these for, we need to figure out what the GE tax is. So on the steel bar, it will be 11 coins. So we need to make sure that we're selling it for 11 coins more, or more than that, to make a profit. Now the thing is, a steel bar easily can sell around 565 coins, 563 to 565. So we will be making a profit here very easily, very handily. And again, that'll be another way to show you how you can make profit on the GE flipping in just a few minutes. This is almost done now too, so that's great. Wait, but steel bars finished before the prayer potions did. Interesting. So let's lower that down to 563. Now this, so we bought it for 5.45 mil. We are going to sell for 5.52 mil. Now making 70k there, is it worth it for 80k, 70k? Is it worth it? Am I taking a lot of risk? Not really. I mean, steel bars are one of the most highest volume item on the GE. They maintain their value pretty well, and very quickly you can make, some money right there. That was very easy. Took, again, that was probably less than 2 minutes. 70k, boom. Now that's obviously not the only item that you can do this with. You can do this with tons of different items, such as rune arrows. They're a good item to do that with. Uh, Coal, certain runes like law runes, nature runes, cosmic runes, um, soul runes, anything with a large enough, you know, margin between the buy and sell prices. Soul runes are interesting because the buy limit on those is 25,000, so you can make a decent amount if there's a large enough gap. Because we're always making money off the volume itself, not just the single item buying for a certain amount and then selling for a certain amount. So we're going to try buying some soul runes here. We'll, again, do a proof of concept. Um, right now, I can probably buy them for 424 coins. Let's try this with 10k again. So 4.24 mil is what we have into this currently. We're going to see what it sells for at the end, and hopefully make a little bit of a profit. Okay, so we have finally finished off the prayer potions here. So we had bought them for a grand total, again, of 500 or 15,034,250 coins. And we sold them for a grand total of 15,288,000 coins, giving us a grand profit of 254,000 coins approximately. Now, a lot of you are going to look at this and wonder, is it worth it? Well, it depends on if you're able to be bossing or not. You know, again, the only other money-making methods aside from flipping at the GE that are generally worth it at this rate of coins per hour are things like bossing. However, those aren't always guaranteed at a high profit. This, however, will make you a good profit in that small amount of time, and you won't have to, you know, risk possibly millions of GP worth of gear. You won't have to learn how to do a new boss. You won't have to spend hundreds of hours getting up your combat to a state where bossing is easy. So let's just try this, for a quick second here. We're buying for 424, selling for 435. Just for the sake of making this a little bit easier to see, I might wait until I have purchased all 10,000 soul runes. But again, so as you can see, we're spending 424 on them. If we sell one, at 435, we will be making 427. So on the 10,000, I will be making approximately 30K on that, but you can do up to 25,000, increasing your total profit up to 75K on the soul runes. And that's just at the prices they are right now. I am not waiting for a favorable price with these. I'm just rolling with the punches and seeing what I can make. And again, soul runes are one of those things that you will never ever have to worry about dipping too much in money because it is a hot commodity, always useful, and yeah, you'll always have buyers. All right, we are almost done this here. When I finish this off, I will probably close the stream down. Oop, there we go, and bid you all adieu. So again, soul runes, they will sell a couple GP under their market price over a long enough period of time. I don't ever have to worry about this sitting here that long. But I'm guaranteed from this 30K already starting to sell. So that's fantastic. I'm guaranteed 30K pretty much within a few minutes from this. All right, so yeah, if you like this video, like it, subscribe. Um, there is a lot more that I have that I can share with you guys in the future, so be on the lookout. All right, thank you, and have a great night.